Okay. In this workshop, I'm going to talk about the most annoying topic in Turkish. I don't know, like most of my students are usually like say that, what is this su, si, su at the end of every single word? So I decided, okay, let me just talk about this thing. So in Turkish, let's actually talk about possessives before I teach you all about this. So possessive is a topic that basically tells you who owns this phone or who owns this microphone basically. So if I want to say this is my microphone, there is a possessive in it because I talk about my possession. This is my microphone. Bu benim mikrofonum. So basically, to make these possessive sentences in Turkish, I need two things. I need a genitive case, which is very similar to the S that you have in English. And then I also need a possessive suffix. So in English, you actually need one of them. If you want to say Ahmet's microphone, you basically say Ahmet's microphone. That's it. But in Turkish, you will need both the genitive and then the possessive. You will need all of them. So that's the tricky part when it comes to Turkish possessives. That's why it's a very difficult topic, actually. So yeah, we need a genitive case and then we need a possessive suffix. They basically make a full possessive groups of word in Turkish language. So these are the possessive suffixes that I use, that we use in Turkish language. So for the genitive, sorry, I need this nun, nin, nun, and nun, but I also have in, un, according to my vowel harmony, of course. So there is this extra n that I'm just going to talk about in the next slide. And if I want to also add the possessive suffix, it can either go with this I, u, ü, or sometimes it can go as s, si, su, and su. That's the idea. So if I have to say Ahmet's microphone, it's going to be Ahmet'in mikrofonu. So this in over here is my genitive, and this u over here is my possessive. Let's also talk about Ayşe's car. It's going to be Ayşe'nin arabası. So for Ayşe, as Ayşe ends with a vowel, I need this extra n. And also for araba, which also ends with a vowel, I need this extra s. These are my buffers. These are, the things that connects two vowels together. In Turkish, we have four buffers. We have four bridge letters, let's say, and they are ye, she, se, and ne. The ones that you usually see are this ye, se, and ne. This she is not very common. We only use it with the numbers when we want to say twice, something like that. But this one, for example, the y usually comes with the dative case. If you want to say, I am going to the university. This n is used when with the genitive case. If I want to say Ayşe's bag, it's going to be Ayşe'nin çantası. I have this n over here. And I also have this s, which is also very common when I talk about a compound noun or when I talk about a third person possessive, just like this Bilgi Üniversitesi. Over here, this S is a bridge letter or my buffer. So this is the example that I just gave earlier. In English, you can, make a possession sentence in two formulations. Of course, this one is more common, but I think the other one is also acceptable or possible. You can either say Ahmet's microphone, or you can say the microphone of Ahmet. So with two different, things, you can actually talk about this thing. This is Ahmet's microphone, or the microphone of Ahmet. In Turkish, you only have one, way to do it. And in this way, you actually need both the genitive case and then the possessive case. You need Ahmet plus the genitive, Ahmetin, and then you also need the possessive case suffix, which is u over here. Ahmet'in mikrofonu. But when it comes to Ayşe's car, in English, you can do the either way. You can either say Ayşe's car, or you can say the car of Ayşe, which is possible. But in Turkish, you only have one way. You can only say Ayşe'nin arabası. That's the only way. So you need the genitive for the one who possesses the car, and you need the possessive suffix for the thing that is owned. That's the idea. This is my rule. Let's make some random possessives. I'm just going to let everyone make this kind of, possessive with their own name. So Linda, use your name and then use one of the objects that you see around and say Linda's something. What would you say?
Linda'nın maden suyu.
Maden suyu. Harika. Okay. Linda'nın maden suyu. Out of all these examples, you went for the one that has
The
exception
one
in
that
it.
doesn't work, because that's what I just looked at.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Alma.
Almanın defteri.
Harika. Almanın defteri. Yasmin.
Yasmina'nın şişesi.
Yasmina'nın şişesi. Çok güzel. Jennifer.
Jennifer'ın kedisi.
Okay, Jennifer'ın kedisi. So when it comes to Jennifer, I'm not going to consider the e over here. I'm going to consider the sound that we have, which is, I think, şva. I'm not really sure. So that's why I have this n at the end. Jennifer'ın. Jennifer'ın kedisi is a lovely example. Gisela.
Gisela'nın çantası.
Çok güzel. That's right. Oh, wow. We have lots of people again. It's going to take a while. Gisela'nın çantası. I have Juliet. The microphone.
Merhaba.
Merhaba.
Juliet'in cep telefonu.
Çok güzel. Juliet'in cep telefonu. Numancı.
Merhaba.
Merhaba.
Benim adım Mariana.
Mariana. Okay.
The computer. Okay.
Tamam.
So Mariana'nın kalemi.
Çok güzel. Bravo. Monira. Hadi. You are muted right now. We cannot hear you. You are muted.
Monira'nın kedisini.
Monira'nın. What is it?
Monira'nın köpeği.
For
Köpek.
köpek.
Köpeği.
Harika. Normally, I have my word köpek, so it actually has to be köpek-i, but we have this weird rule that we have in Turkish that I call ketchup rule. This ke becomes soft G, so it becomes, köpeği, just like you said. I'm not going to go over everyone. I'm just going to ask for some volunteers. Anyone?
Ben.
Bianca.
Bianca'nın odası.
Bianca'nın odası. Bravo. Hamlet.
Ben, veamos, Ayşe'nin mektebi.
Ayşe'nin, let's say okullu, because we don't use the word mektep. Are you talking about the letter or the school?
Mektep. Evet.
Mektep. Are you talking about mektup?
Mektup. Evet. Mektebi.
Okay.
Doğru mu?
Mektubu, let's say. Mektep is the old version or the Arabic version of school, I think. I'm not really sure. Any Arabic speaker? Or it could be a library. I'm not really sure. Or a university. But if you are talking about the letter, then it's going to be mektup.
Mektup.
Mektubu. Mhm.
But in this case, genitive, mektubu.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Tamam.
need this u because my word is mektup. And the P over here also changes and becomes B. It just becomes softer. It's another rule that we have in Turkish.
Tamam.
Any other volunteers?
Adisan'ın
Adisa.
kedi.
Adisa'nın kedi what? You just said cat,
Evet.
but I need the
Şu-
possessive suffix.
Kedisi.
Harika. Bravo.
Arişan'ın dizisi.
Ayşe'nin dizisi. Bravo.
Yanina'nın bardağı.
Yanina'nın bardağı. Çok güzel. So yeah, this is the idea. This is how we do, those kind of possessions in Turkish. You always need the genitive for the name, for the one who owns it, and also the possessive suffix that is owned by that person. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just in case. It's a lovely, these are like lovely examples. And let's move on to the next one. But now in Turkish, I have another rule that I have to use this possessive suffix that we just used in our examples. But this time I will only need sı, si, su, sü. I don't need the genitive case. I don't need that nun, nin, nun. This is what I need. So if I apply this kind of rule, I usually do it with two nouns coming together. In English, it basically is, you just put them together and then you make the word, like the word back and then the word pack. And then when you make it together, you put them together, it becomes backpack. But to do this in Turkish, you have to use the first noun with nothing, without any genitives or stuff. You don't need any nun, nin, nun, nun. But for the second word, you need the possessive suffix. So whenever you want to say backpack, it's going to be sırt çantası. So this sı over here is going to be the annoying thing that we have in Turkish, the annoying thing that you always hear. Let's have another example. Over here, I have the work table in English, and over here you have the word work, and then you have the word table. So you just make a new word. But in Turkish, I can do it with this, noun plus this sı, si, su, su again. So in this case, I have the word çalışma, which basically means work. And then I have the word masa, which basically means table. If I want to say work table in Turkish, I have to apply this rule. Çalışma masası. The sı at the end. That's the idea. Let's see another example. Over here, I have the word living room. And in English, it is this living room. There's no extra suffix at the end. But in Turkish, I have the word oturma, which literally means sitting, actually, but we can consider this as living. And then I have the word oda, which basically means room. And then at the end, I have this sı, oturma odası. All of my examples had this sı, si, su, su in it. But actually, sometimes I don't even need that S. For example, I have a hand cream on my hand. So it's I have the cream and I have the hand at the beginning. In English, I basically make it with hand cream. But in Turkish, you need the word hand, which is el. And then you also need the word krem, which is cream. But then to make it one specific word, you have to put this I at the end. El kremi. You shouldn't say el kremsi or something. You don't need the S in this case because I have an M at the end. In all of my examples previously, I had a word that ended with a vowel. Oda, masa, çanta. Yeah, these are the all examples. Çanta, masa, oda. They all ends with an A, with a vowel. But krem ends with an M, a consonant. So, so this is the annoying part. Every single proper, I mean, most of you are either studying in the university or like, I don't know, you go to a company or if you are working in Turkey. At the end of the university names, at the end of the country names, at the end of the city or, no, not city, sorry, street names, at the end of the area names, we have this s, si, su, su, and I, u, u as well. So it's the same idea, basically. If you want to talk about a university, doesn't matter, any university, we are just going to call it universite. But if you are talking specifically about a university that has a name, then it's going to be something like this. Boğaziçi Üniversitesi, which sounds like a University of Boğaziçi. Or I think in English you call it Boğaziçi University. I'm not really sure. Anyone who studies there? Anyone who knows? Do you call it University of Boğaziçi or do you call it Boğaziçi University? No one?
In USA, we say Boğaziçi University.
Yeah, Boğaziçi University. So yeah, you don't put anything as well, just like in Turkish. But in Turkish, we have this extra C. We have this very famous İstiklal Street. In English, you would just call it İstiklal Street, but in Turkish, we actually call it İstiklal Caddesi. I have this C at the end of the word cadde. That's the idea. And then I have this very famous square in Turkey, which is called Taksim Square. And in Turkish, we call it Taksim Meydanı. And I don't have any sisi susu at the end because the word meydan. I'm just gonna mute everyone. The word meydan ends with a consonant. Taksim Meydanı. Well, this is the idea, but I'm not going to finish with these examples. Let's put it into a better practice. I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to open a tab. And what is your favorite online shopping website in Turkey? Just give me the first one. Hepsi burada. Okay. I hope they don't, charge me for using their website for my examples. Okay, let's go to Hepsi burada. Somehow they always have this a discount in their website. If you are looking for a table for your house, you would basically go in the website and you would write masa. And then it's going to basically show you all types of tables. It's going to show you this little cute, I don't know, bed table. I don't know how is it called. It's going to show you this beautiful working table. It's going to show you, I don't know, let's see, this coffee table over here. It's going to show you, let's see, I want to see more examples. Come on. I want to see a dining table. I want to see a camping table. I want to see a picnic table. Unfortunately, cannot see. But let's say we are looking for a camping table. Then in this case, all you have to do is to apply this rule. You are going to put the word camp at the beginning of the word masa, but you still didn't finish. You still need to, finish it with a sisi susu that we have just learned. Now it makes sense. When you say camp masa, they are not connected. When you say camp masası, you basically talk about the table that is used for camping. And let's look for it. And now I have all the tables for camping. Let's look for some dining table for some food. I mean, the table that we eat on food on it. What would you say in this case? How would you call it? Everyone is muted right now. So if you wanted to talk, unmute yourself.
Yemek masası.
Harika. Then it's going to show us some dining tables over here. So with this rule, you also, create a new object, I would say. We have tables, of course, but which tables are we talking about? The dining table, the camping table? Let's look for some picnic table. In this case, I'll need the word picnic in Turkish. Picnic masası. It's very similar to camping table, actually. I was looking for the ones that you can find in the forests. I'm talking about these ones. So this is a picnic masası for me, because this is where we do our picnic. You know, we eat on top of it. And this can be used for other examples. Let's talk about the word saat. When I use the word saat, when I write down the word saat in Google Images, it's going to show me all types of clocks. It's going to show me a clock that we use on the wall. It's going to show us a watch. It's going to show us a watch that we use in our pocket watch, I think. And it's also going to show us a watch that we put on the table. So we can actually make it specific and only look for the walls or look for the clocks that we hang on the wall. In this case, what would you say?
Perde saati.
Ne saati? Perde. This is
No.
perde.
Duvar.
Duvar saati.
Duvar
Duvar
saati.
saati. Bravo, bravo. And now you have all these clocks that you put on the wall. How would you look for a table that you put on the table?
Masa saati.
Exactly.
Masa.
This is how it works, basically. And if you want to look for the ones that we put on our wrist, or let's say arm, in Turkish, we somehow use the word arm for it.
Kol saati.
I'll need the word kol saati. We have tons of teas in Turkey. Chai, which is the classic tea, but we also have some herbal teas. So if you want to name, if you want to talk about a specific herbal tea, you actually have to use the same, rule.
Çay.
Hmm?
Yeşil çay.
For yeşil chai doesn't apply to this example, unfortunately. It's a kind of an exception. At some point, we also have some compound nouns that has literally no suffix. So yeşil chai is one of them. But for example, for the, I don't know what is papatya in English, but
Chamomile.
what is it in English?
Chamomile.
Chamomile.
Nane.
Chamomile. Okay,
Nane.
yeah. So for this, I'm gonna say papatya çayı.
Kapat.
If I wanna talk about, I don't know how is it also called in English. I mean, in Turkish, the literal translation is island tea, but I don't think it's island tea. But it's gonna be ada çayı. It's even possible to use some fruits with these tea. You can even say elma çayı, which is amazing, I think. And you can make your own, I don't know if you ever heard of the grapefruit tea, but I even know how to make it. So yeah, there is a word that says grapefruit çayı.
Çilek
Possible. Çilek çayı sounds weird, but let's see. Why not? Yeah, okay, we found it. That's possible. Is beyaz çay? It is an exception. Yeah, beyaz çay would be also an exception. Siyah çay, beyaz çay, yeah.
Because they're adjectives.
I wouldn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's actually makes sense. I mean, I have to think of other examples to make this thing like official. But I think I can still find some examples that is not adjective, but still has no, what is it? The suffix. I have to actually think of it.
What about like English tea or?
We call it, I think, İngiliz kahvaltı çayı.
Çay.
You cannot find it over here, by the way. I mean, everyone drinks normal tea over here. Yeah, what do you call it? İngiliz kahvaltı. Isn't it İngiliz kahvaltı çayı? Or is it just İngiliz çayı? I don't know. There are lots of British people. Maybe you know it.
What about
Oh yeah, it's called İngiliz çayı.
coffee maybe?
Hmm?
How do you say Turkish coffee?
Oh yeah, for Turkish coffee we call it Türk kahvesi. So I think yes, Jasmina, I think you said that it's because of maybe it's adjective. That's why we don't. Actually, English in this case is also an adjective. So it's not because of that. So yeah, we have the word kahve, and when you write down the word kahve, it's going to show you all types of coffees. But if you are looking specifically for Turkish coffee, then it's going to be Türk kahvesi. If you are looking for a Colombian coffee, then it's going to be Colombia kahvesi. That's the idea. This is the s, si, so, su, I, u, that you always hear. And this information is for everyone who is a little bit more advanced in this topic, in the compound nouns or possessives. Whenever you have one of these words, and whenever you have to add another suffix like a case marker at the end of them, you have to use the buffer n. So if you are going to the Taksim Square, this sentence is going to be Taksim Meydanı, na gidiyorum, rather than Taksim Meydanı'ya gidiyorum. The y is going to be n. Or if you are waiting in the Taksim Square, then it's going to be Taksim Meydanı'nda bekliyorum. If you hate Taksim Square, then it's going to be Taksim Meydanı'ndan nefret ediyorum. So every case marker that you add after a compound noun goes with this na, nda, or ndan. Or if you like Taksim Square, you can say Taksim Meydanı'nı seviyorum. That's the idea. Anything that you want to ask regarding to all the things that we have talked about?
How do you say housewife?
For housewife, we use the verb, we can use the word either ev hanımı. I think it's together, ev hanımı. We should check if it is together or not. Or you can say ev kadını. That's also possible. But please check if it is together or not, because I'm not really sure. I think it is separated. Let's ask the Turkish dictionary. Yeah, it's written separately, by the way. Any questions? Anything that you want to ask? If you want to ask about the apple tree, then it's going to be elma ağacı. I have this at the end. If you want to say, oh, I don't know, orange tree, then it's going to be portakal ağacı. If you want to say the pomegranate tea, it's going to be nar ağacı. You always have this I, u, ü.
His book.
Correct.
Efendim?
Hocam, it's
His
correct
book.
to say.
Pardon. Ev kadın, ev hanımı and ev kadını are separate, değil mi? Thank you. Arisha, what did you ask? Sorry, I didn't understand.
Evet, kahve açayı. Kahve açayı, kakao açayı.
Yeah, yeah, both of them are possible. Yeah, this is how you make it
It's
basically.
possible.
You need this at the end.
Tamam.
Mhm.
Çilek açayı,
Yeah.
vava açayı.
Çilek ağacı wouldn't work, I think. Çilek. But for the
It doesn't
for
grow
the
on tree.
yeah.
It's straight right. Portakal çiçeği.
Yeah, portakal çiçeği would work.
Portakal acı. Tamam.
Yeah. Arisha, what was the question?
I was going to ask his book. Onun kitabısı.
No. So for that thing, it's again a third person possessive. So it's basically this topic because it has a genitive as well. So let's talk about it. So if you want to talk about Ahmet's book, or if you want to talk about his book, which is in this case onun, your word is kitap, right, Marisha? So you
Yeah.
cannot say kitapsı. I mean, it doesn't work like that because I don't need this.
Kitabısı.
I don't need this S over here because it already ends with a P. It always ends with a consonant. So what I do,
Kitabı.
I say kitap, but I also make this P a little bit softer. I change it to kitabı. This is how you say his book.
Hi.
Hi, Gisela.
Can you write the last example?
Which one?
Taksim example.
Ah, okay, yeah, sure. Let me go over to this one. You want the not this one, sorry. You want the sentences that I write with verbs, right?
Yes. Can you write evet? What's I mean? Na, da, dan, and
Ne ediyorum? And Taksim Meydanı ne seviyor?
can you write what's I mean on English? Nan, da,
Do you want them in English?
Evet.
Okay, I am going to Taksim Square. I am waiting in Taksim Square. I hate. In Turkish, we kind of say from Taksim Square. And I like Taksim Square. Or love. Both of them are fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Why do you need ediyorum here? Nefret ediyorum.
The verb hate is formed of two different words, nefret and etmek. This is how I say I hate.
What about if we have Ayşe and kol saati? So kol saati is already a compound, but Ayşe'nin kol saati.
Oh, so when you have,
like
when
it's
you have
double.
when you have possessives and
And
a compound
and
now,
yeah.
in this case you don't have to add an extra possessive.
Okay.
You just need one. And let me also tell you this one. Let's go over the okay, let's go for sırt çantası. If you want to say my backpack, you also get rid of the sığ that I have. So you basically say
Benim sırt çantam.
aynen öyle. Bravo. You don't say benim sırt çantasım. You don't do that.
Peki.
This is wrong. Let's use the red one. Whoop, whoop. This is wrong.
Tamam.
That's a good question, by the way. Bravo.
Nasıl mı hocam?
Ne?
Benim çantasın
So, yok. The first one is
yanlış.
correct. Evet, benim sırt çantasım yanlış. Evet, doğru. Bravo. Yani bu
ama
doğru.
çantasın doğru.
Bu yanlış. Efendim?
Tamam.
Böyle.
Anladım.
Tamam.
Benim sırt çantam.
Çantam, evet.
Bu yeter söyle doğru sırt çantam.
Yeah, you can.
Without
Tabii. Benim gerek yok. Bunu atabilirsin. Bu gereksiz.
Tamam, sırt çantam.
Sırt çantam mümkün. Anything that you want to ask, discuss?
Yeah, Alma, is there a list of verbs for example, I hate brackets from Taksim Square does not make sense in English at all. Are there a list of verbs that you use the opposite to what we would in English?
Are you asking for this thing? Like, why do we use this done
Yeah.
with the verb nefret etmek?
It's the same. I always get muddled up when you're using the verbs for getting onto vehicles, off vehicles. You use it different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there a way of knowing?
There is a lovely book that actually kind of helps you study those, and then there is also answer key in it. I also have the PDF version, but you can also order it online. It's available. Let me just share the PDF so that you can see the name of it. Where is it? Türkçe kaynak. I basically named it as case marker study thing. Okay, let me just open it and show you. Allah Allah, where is it? Case marker something self-study. Oh, okay. Over here. Let me just share my screen with you. So this is the book. There are many versions of it. There is the French version, there's the Spanish version, there is the other versions. Alma, I think you had this book.
I got one.
Yes, I
You,
do.
you also have it, Hamlet. So this
Sure,
is a
sure.
very,
I got
yeah,
one.
this is a very lovely book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can definitely use this. You can either order it or you can, use the PDF. Both of them are available.
No, Suman, my daughter.
Is she bringing it? So yeah, the good thing about this book, it also has the answer key at the end, and it also has the list of verbs, with which case markers do we use them and stuff. So yeah, I would suggest this one, Juliet. You can, study on this, and it's definitely going to help you. If you want to take a screenshot or something, or I can send you the name of it on WhatsApp. This is the book.
And where's the PDF version of the book?
I'll send you.
Thank you.
Hojan, sorun var. This book is very helpful to guide. For example, when we use, for this case, nefret olmak. Mesela, for example, in dam, that's right to use, or this book help anytime, everywhere. What is the right case to use?
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, you basically unconsciously practice with which verb goes with which case. That's why it's a really nice book. It kind of teaches you unconsciously at some point, because you're always exposed to it.
So sometimes I can see in English or in Spanish is my case. It's not concord with the same one has the mind speak language too, but in Turkish totally changed.
Yeah. I mean, the classic example is the verb look. I mean, in Turkish, we basically say look to. Meanwhile, in English, it is look at. So it's one of the most common example. Or another example is the verb koymak. And the verb koymak, we put something to. I mean, we put the phone to the table in Turkish, but meanwhile in English, you say I put the phone on the table. So yeah, this book in this case is kind of really useful to learn the case markers.
Çok teşekkürler hocam.
Rica ederim. Ne demek? Ben teşekkür ederim. Before I go for the extra questions, I will definitely take the screenshot of this workshop again. This is less crowded than the previous one, so I have everyone in one screen, which is good. Yeah, I'll take the selfie. Yeah. And Bianca, I'm gonna answer your question after the selfie. I just saw it on chat, by the way. I actually didn't understand what the question is. I'll ask you again. But yeah. Okay, hazır mısınız? I'm gonna count down from 3. Everyone ready? Salim is here. Gisela is here. Okay. Counting from 3 down to 3, and we are going to say peynir or smile at the end. 3, 2,
Peynir.
1. Peynir. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to get ready for it. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't. I'm gonna count again.
Çabuk, çok güzel. Ha?
I'm gonna count again. 3, 2, 1. Peynir.
Peynir.
Okay, yeah, this is a lovely one. So Bianca also asked a question. Let's go over it. I'm gonna share my whiteboard for it. So Bianca, what is your question? How to do double possessive with compound nouns? So the double possessives that we have with the compound nouns is actually, I think it's very similar to what Jasmina asked. If I have to say my backpack, it's going to be benim sırt çantam. So you basically get rid of the, the sı over here. If this is what you are asking.
How about like my brother's bags? Something like
Then
that.
it's going to be kardeşim, which is my brother. Kardeşimin, this is my genitive. Kardeşimin sırt çantası, because it's not your backpack anymore, it's your brother's backpack. So you will again need that sı because your brother is a third person.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You can even make it more, longer. You can talk about the color of this backpack. In this case, you will add the word renk at the end of this, but to connect them, you again need a genitive and possessive. So you will add kardeşimin sırt çantası. You will add a genitive at the end of çantası. And then you will also add a possessive at the end of the word renk. So it's going to be kardeşimin sırt çantasının rengi. And then you can finish the sentence with kahverengi. Or mavi, I don't know. Basically, whatever the color is. So yeah, we call this, I call this long possessives because it has more than one possessive in it. It has this my brother, it has my brother's bag, it has the color of my brother's bag. So it goes longer and longer. You can even make it longer. It's basically infinitive.
Bas zor. Çok zor.
Yok. Yani evet. I'm not going to say it's not easy for the when it comes to the topic of possessives. I know it's a difficult topic. But
Yes,
yeah, at least I try to explain the ideas and stuff. So I hope it's much better.
Anladım. Teşekkür ederim.
Super. I'm just going to mention the future classes that I will have. Oh, let me actually stop the recording already.